Good afternoon. It is nice to have you all here. We are going to wait a few more minutes for more people to come in. When you have an opportunity, put your name in the chat. Most people call me Darlene. So nobody's putting their name in the chat. Does that mean you're busy or you can't understand me? Oh, we have Esther and Schwalm. How old are they? Esther is 15 and Schwalm is 12. It's nice to have you all here. Can you understand me or is it hard? Yes, very good. Excellent. We'll just wait a couple more minutes. Does everybody have the lesson printed out? Samuel, 11 years old. Welcome, Samuel. It will be interesting to see if y'all enjoy this lesson, if you can profit from it. Rebecca, 13 years old. Welcome, Rebecca. It's good to have you. I still have a student. I believe he is 10 years old. And he was having a hard time learning English from the other courses I have that are more simpler. And so we moved him to this course right here, The Sounds of English. And he really liked it. So it is surprising to me how many teenagers or almost teenagers enjoy these lessons. All right, we're going to get started, okay? Our lesson has different sections. For example, this is the first section, and it comes down to here. And then the second section starts there, and it comes down to here. So every time we come to a new section, I'm going to pause and I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask questions. So if you have a question, save it, and when we come to the end of the section, I'll stop. You can write the question in the chat. You can write it in English. You can write it in Portuguese. I'll answer it, and then we'll start the next section, okay? So let's start section number 1. It's just entitled Phonics. This explains to us why we study phonics. Learning phonics can help you master, that means become fluent at the English language. Whether you are a native English speaker, like I am, I've been speaking English since I was a child, but studying phonics still helped me. Or it can help you if you're a student learning English as your second language. Phonics is important because the sounds of the English language are the building blocks that we use to pronounce words, read texts, and understand spoken English. Isn't that interesting? If you think of a language, whether it's English or Portuguese or Chinese, it doesn't matter. Every language has sounds that are the building blocks that we use to speak that language, to read that language, and to hear and understand people who are speaking that language. Phonics, or the sounds of the language, are building blocks. So learning the individual phonemes, phonemes is another word for sounds. Learning the individual sounds of English will help you speak English clearly, hear English distinctly, and read English easily. Learning phonics can reduce the frustration that many English students feel. When a student learns English without studying phonics, they usually see the words as whole units. That means when I say the word cat, that you hear the word as a whole unit because you don't know phonics. When you study phonics, you learn to hear the word cat as the individual sounds. Cat. So the method, excuse me, I got confused. I'm going to read right here again, okay? Learning phonics can reduce the frustration that many English students feel. When a student learns English without studying phonics, they usually see the words as whole units and memorize their pronunciation. This method of learning frequently leads to frustration because students don't understand why a word has a specific pronunciation. This lack of understanding causes confusion and difficulty with pronunciation. When a student knows the sound of each of the letters in a word, they understand why the word is pronounced as it is, and they can pronounce the word with confidence. So that is the end of our first section. Does anybody have questions? Nope. Okay, then let's do section number 2, the different types of sounds. There are 44 basic sounds in English. It can be helpful to understand that all of these 44 sounds are either stop sounds or continuous sounds. They are also either voiced or voiceless sounds. So now we're going to talk about these different types of sounds. We're going to start with stop sounds. Stop sounds in the English language are sounds that we make with a burst of air. Letter P is a good example of a stop sound. P, p. Can you make the sound of letter P? Notice how we make it with a burst of air. P. We make it sound quickly and then we stop. That's why it's called a stop sound. Can you guys think of any other sounds that are stop sounds? How about the letter T? T. T. What else? C. K. Yes. K. Good job. The letter B. B. These are all stop sounds. Excellent. So let's go to page 2, and we're going to talk about continuous sounds. Continuous sounds are sounds that we make with a continuous flow of air. We maintain the flow of air for a second or two before we allow it to stop. The letter S has a continuous sound. S. That's a continuous sound. We hold the sound. Can you all think of other continuous sounds? How about the letter F? What else? Letter M. Mm. Letter V. Mm. These are all continuous sounds. We don't make them with a burst of air like the stop sounds, which are D, B, T. Those are stop sounds. We just let out a burst of air and it stops. These are continuous sounds. Continuous sounds. So all the 44 sounds in the English language, they're either a stop sound or they're a continuous sound. Now we're going to talk about voiced and voiceless. Voiced sounds are sounds that we make with our vocal cords. The letter V is a voice sound. If we put our hands on our throat, we can feel our vocal cords vibrate as we make the V sound. Let's do that together, okay? Put your hand here on your throat where you can feel your vocal cords, and let's make the V sound. Do you feel how it vibrates? That's a voiced sound. We use our vocal cords to make it. Now we also have voiceless sounds in English. Voiceless sounds in English are sounds that we make with air. Our vocal cords do not vibrate as we make voiceless sounds. The letter F is an example of a voiceless sound. So when we're making a voiceless sound, one that we do not use our vocal cords, you can put your hand on your throat and make the sound. Let's make the sound of F. And if you notice, there's no vibration in your throat. Let's make the letter V, okay? And we'll feel the vibrations. Now let's do F. No vibrations. Isn't that interesting? So when we use the vocal cords, we say the sound is voiced. When we do not use our vocal cords, we say it is a voiceless sound. So in the English, we have 44 sounds. All of these sounds are either stop or continuous. And all of these sounds are either voiced or voiceless. We're at the end of a section. Does anybody have questions? Tell me, is this hard for you all? Nope. Good. Very good. Well, then let's do some practice, okay? Let's start the next section. I'm going to make some sounds. I want you all to listen to each sound. Welcome, Monique. We just finished talking about the different sounds in English. So now we're going to do some practice here. So I'm going to make some sounds here. You all are going to listen to each sound. If it's a stop sound, you're going to put an S on the blank. If it's a continuous sound, you're going to put a C on the blank. All right? So right here in our practice, we have 6 blanks. I'm going to make 6 sounds. If it's a stop sound, you put an S. If it's a continuous sound, you put a C. Number 1. K. K. Number 2. N. N. Number 3. O. O. Number 4. J. J. Number 5. Number 6. O. O. All right, I'm going to read the correct answers. You guys check. The sound K is a stop sound. You should have S on the blank. Number 2, N. N is a continuous sound. You should have C on the blank. Number 3, O. That's a continuous sound. Letter C on the blank. Number 4, J. That's a stop sound. Letter S on the blank. Number 5, this was the letter H. Some people have trouble with that, but it's actually a continuous sound because we can hold it a little bit. Number 6, O, continuous sound. C on the blank. All right, now I'm going to say some words. Listen to each word. Identify the first sound. Write an S on the blank if the first sound is a stop sound, and write a C on the blank if it is a continuous sound. So this is a little bit harder because I'm going to say a word, and you have to figure out what is the first sound in that word, and then decide if that first sound is a stop sound or a continuous sound. Let's do the first one together, okay? Number 1, 8. 8. What is the first sound in 8? A. Is that a stop sound or a continuous sound? You put either S or C on the blank. Now I'm going to let you do the next ones by yourself. Number 2, pen, pen. Number 3, dog, dog. Number 4, moon, moon. Number 5, fork, fork. Number 6, run, run. All right, let's look at the answers. The first one was the word 8. The first sound is A. That's a continuous sound. Letter C on the blank. The next word was pen, pen. The first sound is P. That's a stop sound. So letter S on the blank. Number 3, dog. The first sound is D, D. A stop sound. Letter S on the blank. Moon. Number 4 is moon. The first sound is M. That's a continuous sound. Letter C on the blank. Number 5, fork. The first sound is F. That's a continuous sound. Letter C on the blank. And number 6, run. That's a continuous sound. So letter C on the blank. All right, so we practiced already the stop sounds and the continuous sounds. Now we're going to practice voiced and voiceless. So listen to each sound that I make. Write a letter V on the blank if it is voiced, and put an X on the blank if it is voiceless. And remember, if I make the sound and you're not sure, you can put your hand on your throat, make the sound again, see if you feel your vocal cords vibrate, okay? The first sound is G, G. Is that voiced or voiceless? Put a V on the blank if it's voiced, if we do use our voice, and an X if it's voiceless. We do not use our voice. Number 2, P, P. Number 3, V, V. Number 4, sh, sh. Number 5, Number 6, D, D. Now let's look at the answers, okay? The first one was G, G. It is voiced. You should have a letter V on the blank. Number 2 was P, P. It is voiceless. So have a letter X on the blank. Number 3, V, V. It is voiced. Letter V on the blank. Sh, sh. That is a voiceless sound. So an X on the blank. That is a voiced sound. So letter V on the blank. And then the last one, number 6, was D. D. It's voiced. Letter V on the blank. Tell me, how many did you get right? There's 6 of them. Did you get all 6 right? Did you get just 5 right? Tell me. Six. Wonderful. Good for you guys. That's great. Okay. So, since you guys are doing so well, we're going to go to the last page, and I have a challenge for you. All right. Oops, I'm sorry. We missed a section, didn't we? We didn't do the very last exercise, the very last practice on page 2. So for this practice, I'm going to say 6 words. When I say the word, you listen to it, identify the first sound, and then you write V on the blank if the first sound is a voice sound, and write an X on the blank if it is a voiceless sound. Number 1, the word is to. To. Number 2, the word is sit. Sit. Number 3, ice. Ice. Number 4, hat. Hat. Number 5, like. Like. Number 6, mouse. Mouse. All right, let's go through and look at the answers. Number 1, the word was to. The first sound is t. T. T is a voiceless sound, so you should have an X on the blank. Number 2, the word was sit. The first sound is sit. S is a voiceless sound, so you should have X on the blank. Ice. Number 3 was the word ice. The first sound is I. Ice. I is a voiced sound, so you should have a V on the blank. Number 4, hat. The first sound is that is a voiceless sound, so you should have an X on the blank. Number 5, like. The first sound is ol. Like. Ol is a voiced sound, so you should have a V on the blank. Number 6, mouse. The first sound is is a voiced sound, so you should have a V on the blank. How many did you all get right? All 6? That one was harder. So even if you didn't get all 6 right, it's okay, as long as you did your best, okay? 6. All right. Good job. Am I going too fast, or can you keep up with me? 5. We have a question. Is the sound of letter H a continuous sound? Yes, it is, because we can hold it for a while. The letter H is, we can hold it, so it's a continuous sound. If you'll notice the stop sounds like t, p, they're sounds that we cannot hold them. Even if we want to hold them, we can't. They're made with a burst of air. P, t. But the sounds that we can hold, like is a continuous sound. All right. Tell me, am I going too fast? Or can you all keep up with me? All right. It's nice. Very good. I think sometimes I can go too fast and people get lost. So I try to go slower. All right. Well, you guys have done very well in this lesson. So let's see if we can do a challenge. This is page 3, okay? A challenge. We learned in this lesson that each of the 44 sounds in the English language is a stop or continuous sound. And at the same time, it is either a voiced or voiceless sound. Here are some examples. The letter B is a voiced stop sound. We make the B sound with a burst of air and our vocal cords. Let's make the letter B together. Put your hand there on your throat and let's make the letter B. B. Do you see how you make it with a burst of air? B. So it's a stop sound. But you can also feel your vocal cords vibrate. B. So it's a voiced sound. The letter T is a stop sound, but it's a voiceless stop sound. We make the T sound with only a burst of air and do not use our vocal cords. Let's put our hand there again, make the letter T sound. T. T. Do you notice? It's only the air coming out of your mouth that makes the sound. Your vocal cords don't vibrate. The letter R is a voiced continuous sound. We use our vocal cords and a continuous stream of air to make the sound. So let's make that sound together. We're sending out air and our vocal cords are vibrating at the same time. The letter F is a voiceless continuous sound. We use only a continuous stream of air to make the F sound and do not use our vocal cords. Let's make the F sound together. Vocal cords do not vibrate. It's just the air coming out of our mouths that makes the sound. All right. Here at the end of the exercise, we have a quote. This is a quote from President Thomas Jefferson. He was president of the United States from 1801 to 1809. But he said, "I'm a great believer in luck. And I find the harder I work, the more I have of it." It's kind of an interesting quote, isn't it? So I want you to read the quote below. When you come to a word with a parentheses under it, identify the first sound in that word and put a V on the first blank in the parentheses if the sound is voiced, or an X if it is voiceless. Then on the second blank in that parentheses, you're going to put an S if that sound is a stop sound, or a C if it is a continuous sound. The first word is done as an example. So let's look at that first word. I'm. I. The first sound in I'm is I. I is a voiced sound. If you put your hand there on your throat, it'll vibrate. I. So we put a V in the first blank of the parentheses. And then on the second blank, there's a C because it's a continuous sound. I. Continuous sound. Let's see if you guys can do the rest of the words that have a parentheses under them. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes here. When you all are done, would you write done in the chat? Done. All right. Anybody else done? We'll just wait if you need more time. All right. So let's read this quote together. I'm a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. So President Thomas Jefferson, he believed that luck existed. But he also found in his life that the harder he worked at things, the more luck he had. I think he was trying to tell us that hard work results in things being successful. Okay, so the first word was I'm. We talked about that one already. The second word is great. Great. Tell me, put it here in the chat. Is it voiced or voiceless? Is it a stop sound or is it continuous? What did you write in the parentheses under the word Great. Voiced. That's right. G. The first sound of the word great is voiced. You should have a V on the first blank. How about on the second blank? Is it stopped or continuous? Continuous. Excellent. Oops. Excuse me, it is not continuous. G. G. G is a stop sound. We make it with a burst of air. So there, under the word great, you should have a letter V for voiced and an S for stopped. Stop. You know, I messed up. I made a mistake. That just goes to show that no matter how much you study a language, whether you're a native speaker or it's your second language, you're going to always make mistakes. It's normal. We just try and learn from them and we go on. So the word luck is next. Luck. The first sound is O. Tell me in the chat, is that voiced or voiceless? And is it stop or continuous? These are hard. Oh, luck. O is voiced. So you should have a V on the first blank. That's right, voiced. It is also a continuous sound. Oh, that's right, voiced and continuous. So you should have a V and a C under the word luck. The next word that has parentheses under it is find. Find. The first sound is F. Does someone want to tell me if that's voiced or voiceless, stop or continuous? Letter F. Voiceless and continuous. That is correct. F is voiceless and it is continuous. Next one, harder. The first sound is harder. What is that, voiced and or voiceless, continuous or stop? Voiceless and continuous. Excellent job. That's correct. Voiceless and continuous. We have two more. Work. Work. The first sound is W. 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 Is this voiced or voiceless, stop or continuous? W. This is a sound that a lot of people have trouble with, the W sound. Okay, it is a voiced sound. We do use our vocal cords, W, but it is a continuous sound, W. Voiced and continuous. And the W sound is difficult because it's not such a clear burst of air, nor is it a clear stream of air, okay? It's not like the letter P where you do P and it's over. W, It is a sound that we hold a little bit, so it's a continuous sound. So if you got it wrong, it's okay. We learn from it, we go forward. And the last one is more. More. The first sound is Is this a voice sound or voiceless? Stop sound or continuous? It is a voiced and continuous. Good job. You all did a very good job in this lesson. So we learned about the different types of sounds in English. And so in the rest of the course, we study each letter and the sounds it makes, okay? So this gives you an idea of what the course is like. Does anybody have any questions? No questions? Was this lesson hard for you or super easy? Why is the letter W a continuous sound? The letter W is a hard sound to identify if it's a stop sound or a continuous sound. For example, let's make the sound of the letter P together. P. See, it's real easy to see that it's a stop sound. We just make it with a burst of air. P. When we do the letter W, we don't have that clear burst of air. W. W. We do hold it a little bit. So it's a continuous sound because we hold it that tiny bit. It's a continuous sound. I know it's hard to hear, but it may affect it, but I'm not sure. But many years ago, when they made the W sound, they often put the sound of the H with it. So it was a sound like this. What? What? Many times when they used the W sound, that's the sound they made. Then the sound changed over time, and now we just do wha. So it could be because of that H sound that they kind of connected to it. That could be why it's considered a continuous sound. Is that clear? The English language can be confusing sometimes. Some people did have a hard time with this lesson. I understand. These lessons are harder. So that's normal. But as you learn phonics and you get used to talking about these things and thinking about them, it gets easier. All right. So that is the end of our lesson. I did just look it up on Google just to confirm that W is a continuous sound, and it is. And there are people that say it is because of the hwa that used to be used that is considered a continuous sound. But all right, if nobody has any more questions, I will say goodbye. It was really nice having y'all here. I am going to put the link for the recording to this lesson on Instagram if anybody wants to save it, okay? So goodbye. Talk to y'all later.